All right, welcome to Overland Subaru International. Today is all about KC. So that's last week I explained what where is actually and what for KC. If you didn't see that video, I want to actually ask you to click down the corner over there or in the link below to see that video. Now KC is a runway which had been built during the Cold War. Still today, when you think about it, what's going on right now with Russia and the war which is going on against Ukraine, that thing could be used again, because I don't know if you saw it, but there's a lot of military which is going up north right now as we speak. If you look at the United States on the Alaska, or us, Canada, up north, there's a lot of activities. Now, today I'm going to explain our story first, but another story which happened over there, and it's actually the biggest deal cut about Raymond Boulanger right now. So this is his story, and let's look at it right now.
19 years ago, police seized a plane loaded with 4,000 kilograms of cocaine in KC, Quebec, and arrested its enigmatic pilot, Raymond Boulanger. In what was the largest cocaine smuggling attempt in the history of the Canada to date. However, had it not been for the impatience of the emissaries sent by the Rizzuto clan, Italian mafia, on the track and who abandoned him before his arrival, the coup would have easily succeeded. Affirms Raymond Boulanger, who, for the first time, agreed to tell the details of this spectacular case. In the darkness of the night, under a stormy and more or less clear sky, the conveyor swallows more and more quickly the badly lit track of the Guajira Peninsula, in the north of Colombia. Heart-pounding, concentrated, Raymond Boulanger firmly holds the broomstick of the cargo plane in both hands. The silence of the Quebec pilot and his Colombian co-pilot betrays their nervousness. Their plane, stuffed with 4,343 kilos of cocaine and about 40 barrels of gasoline, is 9,070 kilos too heavy. The two men do not know if the plane will take off or crash into the sea. At the end of the runway, which is going too fast for their taste, BHG Baker pulls on the controls. The train of the device timidly leaves the mainland, little by little. The plane, which was overhanging the water, lost a little altitude, then regained it, gradually. Boulanger and his co-pilot breathe a sigh of relief and get back into their seats. About 400 miles from Nova Scotia, off Yarmouth, the clearing clouds gave way to another hazard. I could hear on my scanners two F-18 pilots who had taken off from Goose Bay in Labrador. They reported that they had intercepted me and saw me on their radars. They were flying at a speed of 1.8 Mach. It was not a very brilliant maneuver because they wasted fuel for nothing. They could have waited and intercepted me when I was close to New Brunswick, he said. Shortly after, one of the two F-18s, following the conveyor at a distance of about 2 kilometers, had to land in Fredericton to refuel. The other then approached at full throttle the Quebec pilot's aircraft, which was still going at 450 miles an hour. He was at the end of my wing. The pilot waved me down with his thumbs down. I answered him by saying goodbye to him, says Boulanger proudly, according to whom the F-18 then had to pick up and turn to refuel. Finally freed from the bad luck that has plagued him since his departure, Boulanger finds serenity. After flying over New Brunswick, he finally reached Quebec, 9 hours after takeoff, and landed safely on the KC runway, at the end of which an employee of Vito Rizzuto, Christian Deschênes, and his accomplices were supposed to leave. Wait to unload the device and refuel. But there was no one, describes Boulanger, still dismayed. After an hour of waiting, we started to worry. We walked to the road where stone console trucks were passing. We hitched a ride and went down to the village convenience store to call the Italians, but no one answered, says the pilot. The quartet returned to the track, but returned to the village a second time. Boulanger then called Air Roberval to send him an airplane taxi, and they returned to the runway in the van of the owner of the convenience store who accompanied them. It was 1:30 p.m. 20 minutes later, the two F-18s passed over the runway. They had just spotted my plane. I knew then that it was all over, he said. Panicked, the three Colombians fled in the van. The owner of the convenience store wondered what was going on. He understood nothing. Don't worry, they won't get far, he then told the trader, who was unaware that they were traffickers. The Colombians did get bogged down quickly and fled on foot through the forest and the snow. They will be almost hypothermic when the police find them a little later. For about 15 minutes, Boulanger remained alone on the runway, contemplating the plane. I was watching this and I couldn't believe it. I said to myself, Tabar, I have 5 tons of cocaine on the plane and I was there. Planted all alone, 300 kilometers away in the woods, in northern Quebec, he recalls. Boulanger buried 2 million pesos he had on him near the track and returned to the road. He hailed another stoneworker, to whom he confided his desire to go to Montreal. The guy told me that everyone had received a notice from the RCMP not to help anyone. That a plane loaded with drugs had landed in the area, that the area was cordoned off, that the road to Le Tuque was closed and the RCMP was coming, recalls Raymond Boulanger. Once at the Stone Console base, Boulanger tried one last time to convince someone to drive him to Montreal, to no avail. I said to myself, what the F, I have nothing to do. I sat down and had my coffee while waiting for the RCMP to arrive. He was arrested soon after in a Stone Console office and within hours gave a notorious nod to the photographers and cameramen who machine-gunned him. When I left the room, I was surprised by the flashes. It was not intentional, he explains today, surprisingly. According to Raymond Boulanger, had it not been for the impatience of Christian Deschesnes and his accomplices, the coup would have succeeded. Flying further east to outrun his pursuers, Boulanger lengthened his flight by more than 2 hours, and Deschesnes and the others, who had been waiting for him since the wee hours of the morning, left Casey's runway around 7:30 a.m. in despair. To see it happen, according to Boulanger, however, the latter landed around 8:45 a.m. and it was only around 1:30 p.m. The plane was located, which would have given traffickers plenty of time to leave the area with the drugs, refuel the device, or even blow it up if the matter got too hot, he believes. Deschesnes was also sentenced to 23 years in prison for his role in this case. If they had stayed there, they were picking up the trip. The coup worked, no problem, says Raymond Boulanger, with a touch of bitterness towards those responsible for the failure of this ambitious plan.
Well, I hope you're still there to listen our story finally. So there you go. We're still on the way because it's a long way up. So yeah. Yeah, on the way to KC, we have roughly, I would say, an hour before sun goes down. So a little river over there with energy. That's so quiet. It's so nice. You're gonna see a ton of stuff on the way up. Sometimes you just need to have some fun. Alright, so little stop right now, just because we want to see the lake. On the way to KC. As you can see right now, we're in front of a beaver dam, and it's pretty nice. Let's have some fun in the water now. And on the way up, as you can see, it's pretty easy. Normally a car could go all the way down to KC. Some place it's going to be rough, but take the time because there's plenty of very small spot you could actually pass in front very quickly, and you're gonna miss it. As the little lake we just saw before, and there's many spots like that you could actually stop and take a kayak and have a trip on the lake. So it's pretty nice out there. Take the time. Look at this spot. This is amazing. It's a beautiful day, my neighborhood. It's a beautiful day, my neighborhood. What you doing? Oh yeah, we got some civilization. Anybody home? Hello? We got an empty truck here, and a pretty nice one. So, all the way down to KC, it's pretty long, even though we had 50k to go there, but it's a long process because the ride is actually pretty slow. not that bad, but you know, rocks like these, for example, you know, it's bouncing around. So, pretty nice. By doing that beautiful ride up there, you're gonna realize you're pretty alone over there. However, you're still in contact with nature times a million. And this is the time to reset your battery, meet some life over there, and enjoy the time you have, because life is short on this beautiful earth. All right, long day. We are arriving right there. Woo-hoo. Casey, we're here. It was a pretty long day. Ride was pretty good like that. But at the end, yeah, that's nice. And we are arrived. Casey Airstrip. Yeah. Man, that's a long drive. But man, it's amazing! Booyah! 2 kilometers. Wow! Wow! Yoo-hoo! KC Airstrip. Booyah! We are finally there, and that's fun. A lot of joy and happiness. Yep. I am lugging. Wow, that was a long ride. Now, it's our second day typically because we slept at the exact day 9th. Now it's time to have a good meal. It's time to have a beautiful fire and to enjoy ourselves with a really good beer. So this is actually the time to look at the fire, look at the stars, and it will be amazing. Until then, guys, see you next time next week for the rest. Finally, we're gonna eat. We're just gonna eat some potatoes and Barbie's restaurant. Girls, no, not true. It's actually Baton Rouge, man. Fuck that shit. Plus gin and fire. Hello.
Hello.
What's up? Casey down the high. Hola.
Hey, darling.
Yeah, man. Food. Starving. Hungry.